t-shirt. And apparently I've just defeated Diesel for the WWF World Heavyweight Championship. Okay, I'm going to do a stupid Star Wars video. Everybody's doing a Star Wars video today. Everybody's posting Star Wars stuff because it's May the 4th. 10 years ago, nobody said that. It's become a thing now. It's cool. I mean, it gets people to watch Star Wars. Gets people, idiots like me, who have nothing better to do than do the internet videos to talk about Star Wars. So this is going to be a combination of me showing off my new Wonder Woman posters that we got for promoting the movie. I am going to do something that not too many people do on YouTube. I'm going to defend the prequels. Yeah, I'm going to defend the prequels. And at the same time, I'm going to try, and I don't drink a lot of full-flavored sodas. I rarely drink soda these days. Mountain Dew SA. So I'm going to try this out. This is a combination of Code Red, Whiteout, and Voltage. Now, I like Code Red and Whiteout. I haven't drank them in years, so I try not to drink that stuff. Never had Voltage. Well, that's not very good. It tastes like a vitamin water that somebody put Flat Mountain Dew in. It would probably mix really good with vodka. Anyway, so I'll acknowledge, yes, Phantom Menace, of all 8, soon to be 9, theatrically released Star Wars films, I'm not counting the animated stuff, and I'm not going to count the video games, some of that's canon, some of it's not. Anyway, I'm going to defend the prequels. Yes, Phantom Menace is the worst film of the entire series. I agree with everybody on that. I agree with everybody that Hayden Christensen's performance in Attack of the Clones is probably the worst performance in the entire series. But let's look at the entire machine of Star Wars. Point A to point, I guess, M we're at now. I can't say point Z because we're not there yet. We may never get to a point Z, and I hope we don't, because as long as they keep making the movies good, I'm going to keep going to see them. I'm gonna do a video soon where I'm gonna defend Rogue One, because a lot of people came down on Rogue One. There's no character development, blah 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 blah. I'm gonna defend it, and I'm gonna prove to you, yes, there is character development. You just have to think of the Star Wars machine as one giant machine. Now I'm gonna defend the prequels. I think Revenge of the Sith is almost as good as Return of the Jedi. I think from the beginning to end, it's a really well-made film. Hayden Christensen, between filming 2 and filming 3, must have got some acting lessons, because while his acting still isn't great, it's not great, but let's face it, Mark Hamill wasn't fantastic in the first one, and then in Empire it was like night and day. Not to say he wasn't as bad as Christensen in 2, but anyway, off track. So, how I'm going to defend the prequels. When I first saw Phantom Menace in the theater, I didn't like it. The pod scene I thought was cool like everybody else, but then I went home and I forgot about it. Attack of the Clones came out, just never bothered to see it. Well, then Episode 3 was about to come out, and a neighbor I had at the time, my neighbors Jamie and Brandon, were like, "Oh, you've never seen 2? So you've never seen the lightsaber fight between the Count Dooku and Yoda?" And I'm like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" And so they lent me the VHS tape at the time. They lent me the VHS tape for Attack of the Clones. I watched it, and I was like, okay, that was way better than the first. I mean, it's not a great movie, but it's a pretty good movie. So I rewatched the first one. I was like, okay, maybe I was a little unfair to this one. Sure, it could have been a half an hour shorter. There's way too much exposition. But then you see 3. And 3 I thought was a really good movie. I actually heavily enjoyed 3. That's back when I lived near Northgate Mall in Cincinnati, Ohio. I went straight from the Northgate theaters that were still open at that time right back to my apartment, and I called my wife on the way home, and I was like, "Get out A New Hope. I'm going to watch it right now," because at the end of Episode 3, when they've got Luke in their arms and they're staring up at the 2 sons of Tatooine, and we go to credits, I'm like, I want to watch Episode 4 right now. But now that we've gotten all the movies, and we've got them all on Blu-ray, you can watch them all in a row, I've watched Episode 1 to Episode 6 all in a row multiple times now. I think Episode 1 gets really unfairly treated. I really do. Because if you really look at the prequel trilogy, the main character is not Obi-Wan. The main character is not even Anakin Skywalker. The main character in the first three is Emperor Palpatine. Episode 1 sets us up to trust him, and it shows then Queen Amidala why she should trust him. Chancellor Valorum trusts him. All these people trust Palpatine. He makes them really believe he's in for their self-interest. He's for their interest, when really he's in for his own self-interest. Now, we already know Palpatine's going to turn into the evil Emperor. He's going to we already know he's a Sith Master. He's the bad guy. But if you watch from Episode 1 to Episode 3, really it's about how he creates a fake civil war. He builds a war so when the war happens, he can pretend to be the hero, come in, and just take control of the Empire. And that's exactly what he does. So to bring balance to the Force, Vader has to bring him down, which at the end of Episode 6, he does bring balance to the Force. Which is why I was skeptical of Force Awakens. I'm like, okay, it ended how it should. Balance has been brought to the Force. Why do we need more movies? And then I saw Force Awakens, which I think was better than Rogue One. I still really liked Rogue One, but I fucking loved Force Awakens. I saw it again like 2 weeks later. Like, no, I'm seeing this again. I thought it was great. I really dug Force Awakens. So, I'm not going to go too long into it because it's Star Wars. Pretty much everybody that watches my crap has already seen it. Let me take another drink of this not-so-good soda. Get rid of it. If it had a little bit more of the whiteout in it. It tastes like Code Red and mango. Not very good. But I've never been the biggest Mountain Dew guy to begin with. I was always more of a Dr. Pepper guy. So yeah, I do defend the prequels. I do think that they're not nearly as bad as they've been made out to be. Not at all. I think that, yes, some of the acting is a little, there's some holes in the plots, but you can find holes in the plots in anything. We could find holes in the plots in the Lord of the Rings films. You know, the whole thing of why didn't the Eagles just fly them to Mount Doom and let them drop the ring into the volcano, and the whole thing would have been over and done within a day or two. So, of course, there's holes in it. But I defend, yes, Phantom Menace is the worst of the trilogy. And yes, I myself did not like it upon first viewing. Rewatch those films and realize the main character of the opening trilogy of the first three movies is actually Palpatine. And think about it from that perspective. And maybe, just maybe, you'll get something else out of the prequels that maybe you didn't before. I know I did. So, a quick impromptu video here for the whole May the 4th be with you. I watch Star Wars all the time, so I think I'm going to celebrate today by watching Star Trek II: Wrath of Khan. See you later.